But guess what? Who's ever thinking, oh, Owen Wilson with the big nose? No, they're thinking Owen Wilson in that. Good morning. It is December 3rd, 2018. This is episode 2. All right, so it's Monday morning, and I want to wish you a happy Monday. Wait, did I say happy Monday? That's not something I'm used to hearing in the same sentence, because most people, why is there even a Monday? Why isn't every day Friday? Mondays are terrible. We hear so much negativity. Tone it down. And this plays into what I want to talk about this week. So why are Mondays so terrible? Well, they're not. They don't have to be. So we're going to debunk that Monday blues myth. Oh, Monday, I have to go back to work. I'm so tired. And this weekend was awesome, and I just don't want to go back to work because it's Monday. And a bunch of other lies that you tell yourself. We're going to talk about 3 ways to improve your self-image. This is going to be awesome. I'm so pumped for this. And actually, welcome back. It's December 4th, and we're going to cover point number 1. Cut the negative self-talk. This one is huge because it deals with the power of our words, but underlying under that surface is the power of our beliefs, limiting beliefs. If I had a dime for every time I heard somebody say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid," they announced to everybody around them, "I'm such an idiot. I'm so dumb," right? They keep piling on the insults. And what happens there is they're just speaking negativity upon negativity and just pushing themselves down. It's why would you want to do that to yourself? I'm guilty just as much as the next person for having said something like that. And it's not a good place to be in. What's happening there is you've got a belief that was deep-seated in you, and that belief is now being spoken into existence and then reinforced. So belief, speak, reinforce. Belief, speak, reinforce. And that cycle continues if you don't stop it. And we want to stop it right here and right now. The other thing is I hear people saying a lot, something bad happens, oh, it's just my luck that this would happen. And here's a more subtle version. Of course that would happen to me, right? That's a limiting belief, and you reinforce that by your negative self-talk. Along the same lines, people will say something like, they'll say knock on wood, right? Every time I hear somebody say knock on wood, I cringe, because it's rooted in superstition. And that's the idea, that something is out there to get you. If you don't say or do the right thing, anything could happen to you at any moment to change your luck. And so you have to do something like knock on wood. I mean, what is knocking on wood? What is that, right? Well, I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's deep-rooted in fear. Fear that something bad is going to happen to me, so I have to, call it out, right? Now, I understand why some people say, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb. They're announcing to the world, look, I acknowledge my mistake. I made a mistake. And I'm not saying don't acknowledge when you've made a mistake. Absolutely not. It's good to be honest with oneself and to say, I made a mistake. But that's different than saying I'm dumb or I'm stupid, okay? That might be why they think they're saying what they're saying. But by speaking the negative things, they're calling it out to everyone around them, saying, oh, look at me, I'm dumb. Another reason why they might say something like that is because if you inflict that pain upon yourself, then you don't have to get that from someone else. It's easier for me to say to myself, oh, I'm stupid, right? But what if somebody else came along and said, oh, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're an idiot, right? So almost by calling it out myself, I'm saying, I don't want you to call me stupid. I'm going to beat you to the punch, and I'm going to call myself an idiot. So it's convoluted, and I understand why some people say it, but it's just something that is not going to boost your self-image or your self-confidence. So how do we overcome this? Well, ask yourself the question, why? Why? No, really, it's just, okay, that's a simple question, but why am I saying I am stupid? Why am I saying I am dumb? I listed a couple of reasons why I thought people say it. It may not be the case for you. Maybe it's a habit you formed over the years, and it's just something you need to break. You don't really think you're stupid or dumb. It's just something you say, okay? And if that's the case, then great. Correct it and move on. If it's something more deep-seated, something where in your childhood someone put you down, they limited you, they squashed you, and they said you're never going to amount to anything. And you've held on to that. So anytime you do something, that reinforces that, like, oh, I messed up there, well, that comes back, and you just have to get it out there and say, oh, I'm dumb. Well, maybe that's the case. I don't know. But that's where you need to take, and this is not going to happen overnight, but it can happen, it can start now, is taking some time to reflect. Reflect on your life, reflect on your past, reflect on your goals, and ask yourself, why in the world would you say something negative upon yourself? Why would you speak that? Where is it coming from? So these are deep questions to ask yourself, but in the end, it is going to help you boost your self-image. So these are things we need to tackle and face them head on. Ask yourself, why do I fear having bad luck? Why do I think that bad things are just going to happen to me? Why do I feel the need to say something like knock on wood or oh, it's just my luck? So once you've identified that, yes, you can move forward, but you need to start replacing those habits with some better habits. Just go around the house and practice saying good things to yourself. Maybe just like intentionally mess something up. Then just simply acknowledge it. Oh my goodness, I messed that up. Let me see if I can make this better. Or any other phrase you want to replace that with. But start thinking along those lines. Instead of your immediate response being one of self-deprecation, start forming other responses. Try them out. Speak them out loud. That's the thing. You have to speak this out loud. The more you speak it out loud, the more it's going to be reinforced, and you're going to have that belief well up inside of you because you're changing your mindset, right? You're changing the root cause of what the problem is. So go ahead and practice. Speak those words out loud. Speak positive and affirmative things. Cut the negative self-talk, and let's go from there. But point number 2 in boosting your self-image today revolves around our appearance. I haven't met anyone in my life who doesn't feel self-conscious or want to change something about the way they look. So how in the world do we overcome this? Well, there's a couple of options. One is plastic surgery, which I definitely don't recommend because it's extremely expensive. But secondly, that does not address the root, the underlying cause of your feeling of inadequacy. Changing a feature on your body, altering a feature on your body is not what's going to give you the confidence you need. You might think it will, but you're on the other side of that and you realize that's not what actually gives you the self-confidence and the positive self-image. It comes from a deeper place, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this point. So, how do we overcome this? How do we love the skin that we're in? Well, my first tip is to surround yourself with diversity. Bask in diversity. Hang out with people who are amazing human beings, but they're different than you. And once you get to be around them and realize how amazing human beings really are, regardless of the facade, regardless of the external appearance, that's when some amazing things click in your brain and you start to dwell less on how you look or on that one or two or three things about yourself, about your physical characteristics or your appearance that you don't like, and you start instead to dwell on something deeper that's inside you. Guys, we're getting to the core of this. My second tip here is to find what makes you happy, what makes you unique, so you can build your confidence around that and not some physical characteristic that you're not happy about. And then take that confidence and use it to show others what you want them to see. Let me show you an example of the converse of that. Let's say you don't like your appearance. Maybe you don't like something about yourself. We'll say your ears, okay? Because that's something that I'm self-conscious about. And maybe you make public jokes about your ears and how big they are in front of your friends. And what you're doing there is you're actually pointing people in a certain direction, right? You're pointing them to yourself. You're pointing them in the direction of your insecurity. You're saying, hey people, let me scream out to you my insecurity so you can feel this way about me too. It's very self-focused rather than focusing on others, the diversity, the difference in others. You're pointing to yourself. It's a very selfish mode to be in. Now let's switch that around, okay? So let's say the thing that you love to do is you love to crochet. Right? So then when you're around your friends, you talk about how you love to crochet. You're passionate about crochet. You show them some of the things you've done. And guess what? What you're doing there is you're pointing them to something else. Not an inadequacy, not something that you don't like. You're pointing them to a passion that you have. And guess what they're going to see? They're going to see you for that passion. And the point here, the take home here, is that you have the power to narrate your story. You have the power to steer people in the direction that you want them to go when they encounter you. And when you shift that power and you realize that you have the power to do that, in fact, you've had the power all along because you've been shifting them to the wrong place, but now you're going to shift them to the right place. So now you've successfully diverted people's attention away from your physical appearance and inadequacies, and you've shifted them on to something else. And when they're around you, now they're going to feel like, wow, this guy, this girl, this woman, this man is incredible. They love to crochet. Check this thing out, right? And as you build your confidence around this other thing, your physical appearance starts to become really less and less important. Why? Because that's not what defines you, okay? All of these things will help in the end to boost your self-confidence and your self-image. It will help you to love the skin you're in. I have some homework though. As an exercise, go to Google celebrities. Maybe think of celebrities that you like to watch in certain films, and certain TV shows, and analyze their appearance. You will find that there are all sorts of people out there. It used to be like, the Hollywood body. Just as a couple examples, Google Owen Wilson. I think one of the things that is unique about him is he has a big nose. But guess what? Who's ever thinking, oh, Owen Wilson with the big nose? No, they're thinking Owen Wilson in that movie, or Owen Wilson said this really hilarious, funny thing because he's a funny guy. I know it sounds like I'm picking on Owen Wilson for having like a big nose. That's not the point of this. Or more recently on the show This Is Us, Chrissy Metz, she's been out about herself and her struggle with her weight. But guess what? She actually attributes her success now in that role with the character in This Is Us to her physical appearance, because in that case she actually got that role because of her weight. So in some ways you can actually use your appearance to your advantage. That's a whole nother thing, right? So anyway, stop hating yourself, stop the negative self-talk. That's what we talked about yesterday. Today, surround yourself with diversity, love diversity, bask in diversity, and you have the power to shift people's attention off of your appearance and onto something else about yourself that is more lasting, that is more endearing. All right, here we are, point number 3. Today, we're talking about surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting people. Now, yesterday I said surround yourself with diversity and with, people who are different than yourself. Hopefully you're getting the picture here that people that you surround yourself with have a direct influence and correlation on your success. Believe it or not, you may think that that's not the case, that you're above that, but you've probably heard the saying that your income is a direct reflection of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, the 5 people that you are around the most. So if your friends are not that positive and they're telling you, oh, that's way out of your league, you can never achieve that, then they're probably not your friends. I'm just going to break that to you right now. That's not what friends do. I know this is not the snap of a finger. It's not an immediate thing. And you might even tell me, look, I don't know where to go. I don't have friends of the caliber that you're talking about right now. Well, in that case, you're going to have to take it a step further and you're going to have to seek them out. And if you can't seek them out physically, go on social media and find influencers. Most influencers are on social media. They're trying to get themselves out there and make their presence known. So that's good for you because they might be on Facebook. They might be posting daily encouragement quotes. If you're in sales, they might be posting things on how to close that deal, how to close that sale. You get the idea. They're out there and they're posting. They might even be shooting videos that might be on YouTube or LinkedIn. I've seen a lot of videos on LinkedIn from people who are like mindset coaches. They might even have a podcast out there, and that's something where you can subscribe to it, and every single day you have that positivity in your ears, in your head, affects your mindset and your mentality. In fact, I have a friend who started a podcast back in March, Alex Davis. Go find him. He talks about the winning mindset. His podcast is called The Winning State of Mind. So, and he's crushing it out there. He's doing great. And but that's what you want to have around you. You want to have positive, uplifting, challenging people surrounding you to take you to that next level, to boost your self-confidence. All right, folks, we've come to the end of the week. Look, I know we've covered a lot. We've gone in depth, but in some ways I feel like we've probably only scratched the surface. So now it's your turn to chime in, and I want you to do that in the comments below because I'm sure there are things that I have not covered, but that our community could really benefit from hearing your perspective. So here's what I want you to do. Below, I want you to comment. How do you boost your self-image? Give us some tips here. And what are some ways that you cut the negative self-talk? How do you do it in your life? How do you escape that self-deprecation mindset that not only is it so common, but it's so widely accepted? And comment below, how have you learned to love the skin you're in? How do you celebrate your uniqueness? And finally, to the last point, you might have some role models out there that we don't know about. So post in the comments below, giving us some suggestion of positive role models that are out there, maybe on social media, that this community can follow. Guys, it's all about helping each other out. That's why we're here. So do us all a favor, post in the comments below, and let's do this together. See you later.